Hello everybody, welcome to our third card in our holiday series. Today's card was very interesting because I wound up doing a video and halfway through I dropped the stamp set and made a huge mark that I couldn't repair. So this is me actually starting over. And what I did is I cut a piece of white paper that I got from Michaels, and it measures 3 by 4. And what I was doing is actually recutting it there because one of the pieces I had a smudge on it. So right now I'm getting my piece and I'm going to take the Merry Christmas from the Ton stamp set and I'm going to Versamark that sentiment right in the center. And I'm using Ranger's Liquid Platinum, which is really pretty. If you get a chance to get some of this embossing powder, I highly suggest it because it's just a unique color and it stands out very nicely. So once we get the embossing powder on it, you guessed it, we got to get the heating tool out. And I just always remember to let it heat up some before you start, putting it towards the paper. And if you get any warping, just heat it from behind so that way it'll help minimize that. Alright, so once we have the sentiment done, I've already taken off the stamps that I wanted to use. It was a smaller, like a flourish, and some of the dotted stamps from the set. So I'm inking it up with My Favorite Things hybrid ink, and it's once again in the Wild Cherry. I'm really liking this ink. I know I keep saying that, but it's such a really pretty red. So what I'm doing here is I'm stamping the smaller one twice. And then I'm going right next to it to stamp in the dotted design at the same time. So that way when I'm done with that, those two are done. And then I went to the next size. I want to say it's actually probably one of the bigger flourishes in the set, and putting it on the other two corners. And there was a dotted stamp that looked like it was about the same size as that one, so I decided to go ahead and stamp that as well. And before I did the video, I did do sort of like a sample, so that way I would know which order and how to put the different flourishes, because I really wasn't sure how to use this stamp set. And I was like, well, I'm gonna have to just dive in and do it because I could see how other people use it, but I just wasn't sure for me how it was gonna work. So you see I did the flourish underneath the saying, and now I'm just adding a few of the black dots, and right here I dropped it and it landed perfectly down. So I lifted it up and there was just a few little like dash lines, so I kind of did like a double line there. And in looking at it, I decided that I should add a few more, or at least double it up with maybe one of the red ones, so it looks less like a mistake and more like something that was purposeful. Alright, and I lifted it up just so I could see if I was missing something, because I felt like something was missing. So I decided to take the smaller flourish, stamp it up in the Wild Cherry again, and put one above and right in between Merry Christmas and the dark black line that I had just put there. So it gives just a little bit more red. And it was enough to make me satisfied. And then I decided, okay, let me look at this with the actual card and what it's going to be sitting on top of. So as I laid it down, I was like, I'm going to need some, you guessed it, sequins. Because you can't have enough sequins. I've been on a sequin kick. But before I do the sequins, because I just want everything to be down, I'm putting my Stampin' Dimensionals on the back. And because it's a little bit longer, I decided to put 2 in the center. And I'm just taking the backings off. And then I'm going to place it down where I want it. Alright, and then I'm just grabbing my sequins because they're still on my craft table, so it was easy to grab them. And now I'm just going to start laying some of the red sequins that I have down. And I had one that was kind of clear, one that was more like a deeper red, and the one's more like I guess more like the wild cherry color. So I wanted to put in a little mixture of those three. So that's what I'm doing right there, is just pulling out the different ones and laying them where I think they should go. I believe those are the clear ones. And with it already being down on the card, it allowed me to be able to place them where I kind of wanted them, and then get my glue and start putting them down. Now once again, we're using the Rangers Multi-Medium Matte. And when I first squeezed it out, it put a huge clunk of the glue, the matte medium down. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the sequins and I'm dipping them in that particular spot, because I wanted to you know, use up some of it so I didn't have such a huge glob there. And then once I got most of it off, I was able to put the sequin back down there where I originally wanted it to go. And I'm finding that as I use this more and more, the pickup stick is getting easier and easier to use, to where I can find my own method of, you know, using it. And then we just have one more sequin to put down. And once that's down, the card is really complete. Now, if I ever did it again, another possibility, we could have used the Wink of Stella on the red flourishes to give them a little sparkle too. So thank you guys for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed that card. If you liked it, please hit the like button and make sure you subscribe so you can get updates on all my latest videos. And if you have any suggestions or comments, make sure you leave them down below. Thanks you guys, and you have a great weekend.